Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates, and as I shared in my previous video, I'm here in Louisville writing on my new book on abandonment issue recovery. And as part of that, my third chapter, I'm going to share a little bit of the third chapter. And what I'm discussing, it's called... the video title is Marriage is Designed to Unearth and Heal the Deepest Parts of You. Mr. Polly is messing with my camera stand here. So last night I'd been writing during the day and needed a break, and I wanted to go see the movie The Judge. With Robert Downey Jr., who I love, and Robert De Niro, or Duvall, who I also love. And by the way, if you haven't seen that movie, I thought it was wonderful. Just the dynamic between a father and a son, just rich material, heartwarming, good drama, just an excellent movie. But I trusted my GPS system on my phone to get me there. It informed me that the movie theater was just 3 minutes away. And I followed the directions. My little computer lady, with the tinny voice, the computer voice, told me to do, and it ended up in some neighborhood next to somebody's house. No movie complex anywhere close. So I wasn't real happy about that, and then I discovered that instead of typing in the address and saying it was in Louisville, I typed it in and said it was in Clarksville, Indiana, and it just brought me to the closest address. So it's great to have a GPS system, which is my first power tool, but you got to program it right. You got to put the right address in. You got to have accurate information, or you're going to be about 25 minutes late to the movies, the way I was, or you're going to miss out on opportunities to get better. I get middle-aged couples all the time and it sort of makes me angry, to be honest with you. Middle-aged couples come in, they're on their second marriage, they're on their third marriage, and they tell me they're coming to see me, and if I don't help them, then it's on to divorce court. My fees are higher than most therapists, and it's like, okay, let's this guy's highly touted and expensive. Let's give him a shot, and if he don't work, let's go talk to that lawyer. And they come in, and they've been to like 5 therapists over a 15-year period with 2 different marriages or 3 marriages, and they haven't been taught about the meaning and the purpose of love and marriage. And their therapy sessions are just kicking around, hey, how can I be a better husband? How can I be a better wife? Which is just a waste of time. That's not marriage counseling, people. It's marriage counseling. It's not therapy that's going to change your life and equip you to have a healthier marriage. I'll get back to that, because if I get on that, I'm just going to talk about it the whole time, and I'll go off on rants. So let me move on with the video here. Mother Nature has 3 agendas in providing you with titanium strength psychological defense mechanisms. That's a mouthful. When we're kids, we all get wounded. And my assertion is that we're all issued titanium strength psychological defense mechanisms as children. And the reason Mother Nature provides us with that is Mother Nature wants us to survive our childhood. Even people with horrific childhoods as long as their psychological defense mechanisms are in place, they can at least appear to be relatively normal. So Mother Nature wants you to get through that with the least amount of pain, the least amount of damage, and the least amount of knowledge of what actually happened as possible, because it's about survival. Childhood is not a good time. Adolescence, 20s, not a good time to do therapy. I don't really like working with kids, with teens, or with people in their 20s, unless it's late 20s and they've been run over by a lot of trucks. So during our 20s and early 30s, another agenda that Mother Nature has for us is to fall in love, get married, and start having babies. Mother Nature is very interested in propagating species. So the first agenda is help you survive your childhood. The second agenda is get married, fall in love, have babies. And that usually gets you well into your 30s, into your mid-30s, and that's when it gets interesting. Because the next agenda that Mother Nature has is to dismantle your psychological defense mechanisms by employing a tool. And that tool is called love and marriage. And it's made to make you freaking miserable. Often I'll have a new couple in and they're freaking miserable. And I say that it's normal, and it's actually designed, marriage is, to make you freaking miserable, so you're doing great. Your marriage is fine. And they say, hey, all right, we're doing better than we thought. So Mother Nature is all about healing you. It's starting to sprinkle. I hope that I get this in. If I were to cut my finger, then immediately red blood platelets arrive on the scene, begin to coagulate the blood, begin a healing process, and 2 weeks later, you can't even tell I have a cut. And so doctors don't heal the body. Mother Nature heals the body. Doctors just provide an optimum healing environment and opportunity with proper medication and surgery. Mother Nature heals cuts, heals illnesses, heals bruises, heals broken bones. Mother Nature very much would like to heal your deepest psychological wounds, but she can't, because she's already armed you with those titanium strength psychological defense mechanisms that I mentioned earlier. And that's designed to keep your pain inside, where you can't feel it, buried, and to keep very little damaging insights about yourselves, ugly truths about yourselves, from cutting through your walls where it might threaten the integrity of those defenses until midlife, until 35 to 55, 35, actually to 75 now I'm seeing, but it's mainly 35 to 55. So Mother Nature needed a tool that had these 3 attributes. Number 1, that almost every single person on the planet would participate in it. And almost everybody falls in love at least once. And if they don't, that's painful too. Number 2, the second attribute is it has to be strong enough to cut through titanium defenses that are amazingly resilient, amazingly powerful and resilient psychological defense mechanisms. That's got to be a pretty powerful tool to get through that and to make that kind of an impact. And then the third attribute that this tool that Mother Nature used, it has to be time released, because it's like a bomb with a very long fuse. The bomb doesn't go off until about year 15 or year 12 or year 20 or year 30. It's time released. Generally after 7 years, because there's that 7 years of bliss. So I just described romantic love. Almost everybody on the planet falls in love, and it's expected, it's natural, it's normal. Obviously, the power of love is strong enough to tear down defenses. Anybody's ever been dumped or gone through the ending of a relationship or gone through a divorce knows just how brutally painful that is. Look at the lyrics to popular music and look at really good poetry, and you'll find out that it's talking about the rapture of love and it's talking about the pain. So the awesome psychological wall-piercing power of romantic love is absolutely time-released, because enmeshment can last for 7 to 10 years, and after the 7 and 10 years, a lot of times couples are knee-deep in diapers, and they don't really care if they're happily married. They're just surviving. They're just trying to get kids in the bathtub and get them fed and get their diapers changed. So, but by age 35, 33 through 55 or so, the defense mechanisms have lost much of their initial strength. They sort of wear out. I am getting wet by the rain here. The kids have gotten a little more independent. They're off at school, grade school, middle school, junior high school. The enmeshment tank, that's gone. That's empty. That ship has sailed. And your partner is clearly acting like and loving you in a manner that looks and feels almost exactly how you were loved growing up. And then, boom, that's when the bombs start and the walls start coming down and the tears start flowing and couples start showing up at marriage counseling offices desperate to get help. Unfortunately, that most of the people that show up in those offices don't get the help because they receive marriage counseling, which is, hey, how can the three of us brainstorm and try to fix your marriage? And that's the wrong approach. Fixing your marriage is not going to work. You got to fix the problem. The problem, my friends, is your childhood and how you have unconsciously but deliberately gone out and married somebody who's very much like and loves you very much like people that wounded you to your core when you were a little kid. So it's tragic when people spend a lot of hope and they spend a lot of money and they spend a lot of time trying to get help for their issues, and these issues of the family of origin are never even brought up. It's a travesty. It really is, folks. So people come to our office, and it's the last stop before an attorney's office. And I had a fellow the other day who we had met for quite a long time. His meter was running, and his bill was quite large. And he said, "Wow, that's a lot." And I said, just think about how this is going to keep you from paying that attorney. My fees aren't nearly as big as most attorneys, so. Mother Nature uses a tool, a power tool, and the power tool is love and marriage. And the purpose of love and marriage is to break you, to tear down your defenses, to humble you, to teach you how much you don't know, to reach that wounded little kid in you that's sweet and disarming and vulnerable. And if you can come to marital therapy with humility and with an attitude of brokenness, you're going to make tremendous progress. Even if you go to a bad marriage counselor who doesn't tell you the real deal, if you go in with humility and brokenness, you're still going to make some progress. It's all about the attitude that you have. I tell people that you need 5 qualities in order to really change your life in therapy, whether it's individual therapy or whether it's couples therapy. And the first thing is you need to be highly motivated to change, because you know who you are and you're disturbed by your own self. You're just really disturbed by your own dysfunction. Secondly, you're teachable. Some folks, these midlife folks who come in, they've never heard this business of you marry your family of origin issues, and they put their family of origin so far behind them they thought, but they're actually doing a dance with their mama or their daddy every day in the form of their middle-aged spouse number 3 or number 2. So, and that's the beauty of pain, is it'll make an unteachable man teachable. The third thing you have to have is you have to have a lot of pain. Not too much pain and not victim-y pain, but if you're gonna seek to re-engineer your personality from the ground up, you need a lot of pain. The fourth quality that's needed is the ability to trust. Some people are trust damaged and they have a hard time trusting anything or anybody. They can't trust God. They can't trust a therapist. They can't trust a 12-step group. They can't trust their spouse because they were wounded and abandoned as little kids, and they just expect that they're going to be wounded and abandoned by anybody, who deals with them. And then the final quality is to be trustworthy and to do the work and to follow through. And for local clients in Indianapolis, if you have those 5 qualities, that means coming to group therapy. Yay! Group therapy rocks. Group therapy is awesome, and it's very therapeutic and very helpful. And then other attributes or things you can do to follow through is to watch videos. You can get an extra hour or 2 or 3 of therapy every week if you watch our videos. Or another opportunity would be reading books, and that's really helps people to change. So as Mother Nature employs tools upon you, don't fight it. See your spouse or your ex-spouse as your best teacher, and know that the universe is trying to teach you something. And be grateful and be humble and listen and learn from a good therapist and learn from your spouse as to how you're impacting them, because they also picked you because you're going to love them in a similar way that they were loved growing up. So as the tool is used upon you, cooperate with it, because it's going to make you somebody who has a real shot at being happily married. So if you haven't joined our channel, please join our channel. Just hit that little button, say you're going to subscribe on YouTube, and we're just Family Tree Counseling on YouTube, and you'll get a fresh anywhere from 1 to 4 videos every week. We got 4 of us now making videos, and your life will be impacted. Also visit our website, which is Family Tree Counseling or familytreecounseling.com. Let's give you my email address. And there are 6 books there available that I have written. 1 of them on abandonment issues, 1 on marital issues, 1 on affair recovery, 1 on shame, 1 on counterdependency, and 1 on the basics of the recovery process. So I'm going to go get out of this rain and get back to writing. I hope the video was helpful to you. I hope that you're getting the message that the first power tool that you need if you're going to overcome your abandonment issues and not let them dominate you and kick you around is having a crisp, clear vision of your family of origin issues. That's the GPS system. That'll get you to the movies on time. God bless. Thanks for watching.